prediction could bring a lot of trouble in the market. Welcome back to another video. Stock market crashes have been predicted several times. Market giants have always kept a close look at the global financial condition, and now things look a little different towards the end of this year. So will you survive the last 3 months of 2022? Here's Michael Burry's financial prediction. Burry's prediction in September. Financial expert Michael Burry has provided his take on the market situation time and again. His opinions have been extremely impressive for the past 15 years or so. People follow the man very closely, as what he discusses about the financial situation of the United States and subsequently the world have been true in most of the cases. Michael Burry stated earlier this year that things would get pretty difficult towards the end of 2022. We saw it happening towards July, and now it seems as if Michael Burry's words are turning into reality. Inflation is already on the rise and stock prices aren't going up. It's a steady decline, with companies slowly approaching their record low since the pandemic started. Burry's prediction implied that inflation could rise to worrying levels in the new year back in 2021, but very few people were ready to believe him. Now that there have been some increments made by the US government, people are turning to Michael Burry for help. He's already commented on the situation by saying that it's only part of what's coming. Last month, he tweeted about the future, stating that companies had already lost a major value of their stocks in the first half of the year. Nasdaq, Bitcoin, and S&P 500 have lost a major percentage, and Burry called it multiple compression. He also said that it's only the halfway mark, and it marked the beginning of the earnings compression. This has people worrying, as it could be devastating for a lot of people. What it could mean. If Burry is yet to be proven correct once again, it could be catastrophic for a lot of reasons. Looking at the current financial situation, the Fed has stated that it doesn't look good for the remainder of the year, and things could change for a lot of people. In short, trouble is imminent. The Fed has already announced the possibility of recessions. It announced another 0.75% hike in the rates in September. This was the 5th time the Fed has taken such a decision for the 3rd time consecutively. With inflation on the rise, the department is bent on making it either plateau or decrease by whatever means necessary. For this reason, recession might be on its way, and the Fed is not hesitating to put people out of business to reduce the growing inflation. The Fed has already been looking at sources that could provide a major boost to the economy. There are growing concerns about crypto, and a decision to monitor it closely has people wondering if they could take any extra steps that could harm the vast field. If the government is desperate to lower down the prices, people fear that recession would not make the Fed think twice before going through it. If you're enjoying the video, like and comment down below. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more such content. Now let's move ahead. Burry's prediction successes. Michael Burry is one of the most influential personalities in the investment business. His predictions about the 2008 crash shocked everyone, and since then, he's moved into an elite status in the field. His work has been such a wonder that even Hollywood couldn't resist turning it into a movie. Big Short reflects on the activities of Michael Burry during the time of 2008, and the character was played by Christian Bale. Back in 2005, Michael Burry made the decision to invest in credit default swap. He bought 6 pounds of the swap worth $10 million, bringing his total to a whopping $60 million. Michael Burry had studied the housing market and knew that it wouldn't last long. According to his research, people wouldn't realize about the housing situation until 2 years later. When he stated his motive and the reasoning behind his decision to his investors, he was ridiculed for some time. Eventually, the ones who were on his side were shocked when the market crashed in 2008. Burry had made his investors a humongous $700 million profit while making $100 million for himself. But seeing what had happened, he decided to shut down his company and started working on personal investment options. In 2021, he made warnings instead of predictions. The Fed had been printing a lot of money, and Burry had openly announced the outcome. The expert had stated that it could mean a lot of inflation in the coming year, but people refused to believe him. Although the US government was printing more and more money, inflation was stable at 1.7% that year, less than what the Fed had been looking for. But come 2022, and things changed drastically. Inflation came knocking on the door, and in July of 2022, it was at an all-time high in the country at 8.1%. Burry had once again been the bearer of bad news, but he cleared his stance by saying that he was a year or two ahead of what the US government was thinking. He even said that being prepared for such a situation had made him a broken clock, referring to Elon's comments about him. That's it for today, guys. The reason why stock markets are such a risky business is because economies can shift drastically. Michael Burry has made some incredible predictions that saved a lot of people's money, so everybody's concerned after what he's announced.